Normally at Christmas, your mum feels like she's feeding the 5,000. Well, that's exactly what Jesus does in chapter 9. And Ben has a short little devotional thought for us all about it.
I wonder, have you ever sat down to do a test or an exam in school and you've opened the first page and you've just went, I don't have a clue where to even begin here. And that might be something that you felt when you read Luke chapter 9, because there's so much to take in across the 62 verses. You might think to yourself, I'm not going to understand anything or everything even. But hopefully, after you watch this video, you'll be able to understand things a little bit better, so that you can go through the chapter again and go, I know what that says now. The way I want to look at this chapter is through one verse. And there's 4 points I'm going to give you from this one verse that can help us actually understand the whole chapter. And that verse is verse 23. And it says, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way, take up your cross daily, and follow me. And those are the words of Jesus. And the first thing we can learn is that Jesus solves problems for his followers. We read from verse 10 onwards about the problem that the disciples had. There were over 5,000 people had showed up to hear Jesus speak one day, and they had to think about feeding them. They had to give them something to eat, and they were going, how on earth are we going to feed these people? Because we only have one little boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish. How on earth is that going to be enough? But Jesus took the food, he gave thanks for it, and he got the disciples to start giving it out. And there was enough to feed the whole multitude there. So much so, there was actually 12 baskets left over. So there was a great need there that day, and Jesus was able to meet that need. And that brings us nicely into the second thing we can learn, is that Jesus still performs miracles. It might just be in a slightly different way, because we're not going to see Jesus turn water into wine or feed 5,000 people with our own eyes, but he can still do great things today in this world that we live in my life and your life. The third thing we can learn is that how important it is to define our own personal relationship with Jesus. So what does Jesus mean to you? What does Jesus mean to me? Whether you're a Christian or not, who is Jesus to you? Is he the number one priority in your life? The fourth thing and the final thing we can learn is that giving up your life for Jesus is worth it. It's going to be tough by all means, but it's going to be so worth it, because Jesus died on the cross to take away the sins of the world so that we didn't have to, and that we can have a place in heaven someday. And that's absolutely amazing. It's not going to be easy, as I've mentioned, but it's so worth it. Hopefully those 4 points, and through verse 23 you can see what the whole chapter is about, and hopefully how we can understand it and apply it to our own lives. So go through the chapter again and see where those 4 points fit in across the chapter.
Oh, thanks very much, Ben. That was class. Be sure to go through chapter 9 again through the lens of those 4 points from Ben.